So you made it this far. You haven't been eliminated, or you just started and you're not quite sure what's going on in the game of planets. Well, this is Captain Sweep, and I'm here to maybe help you along the way a little bit, because there's three types of players out there right now. There may be more, but let's just look at those three types. The first type are the people who jump into the game, play once, do something, maybe they don't, and then they stop, and that's it. They're basically a dead empire, so there's no real player there. On the other end of the spectrum, they're the veterans. And the veterans have been playing this 2 or 3 games. They know how to play. They're building fast. They know the sequences they like. And they're starting to attack all of the dead empires. So if you see all these empires dying, it's because the easy pickings is to go take these over, because you can take them over quite easily. In between that are the rest of the players. Now, the rest of the players may come once a day. They may not quite know the sequencing or what to do, and they're just figuring it out. And there's a wide spectrum between people who played a lot of games and know what to do versus somebody who's maybe just trying out this type of game for the first time. So each person is going to approach this differently. The veterans, they know what to do. And there's some veterans out there that are very strong and build very quick. And at some point you are going to come across them in a very big fleet. And unless you're nice and you get along, they're probably going to take you out. And that's just life. There's some bigger fish in the sea, and some of these fish are killer whales, and they just are out to kill. Now, there may be some veterans that are actually not like that. They want to help you along, but you got to communicate, and you got to understand that everyone has a sort of different type of mentality and how they're going to play the game. Are they going to make enemies and they just go around killing people, or are they going to take some time to make some allies and not go after players that have a much lower tech advancement? So that just depends on where you're at in that spectrum. I would just say to the people who are in between, make sure that you have your automated defenses as high as you can go. That's going to be your best defense. You've got a lot of sort of military that it looks like you can build, but your automated defenses are going to be what is going to sort of save you from a major attack if it comes. And you want to get your training facilities up right away. That's kind of obvious, to build your troop base. And go look for some low-hanging fruit. Go see what you can take over. If you send a message and they're not responding, and you don't see any sort of science vessels coming out of there, they're probably not there. And if they're not there, you can take over that planet with 50,000 troops and a transport. But then you got to deal with a lot of civil unrest for a while. So you might want to up the amount of troops that you're putting in, or you can do the unthinkable, which of course Captain Sweep would never do, and that's use Xeno weapons to bomb out the population before you invade, and then you have a smaller population to handle. Of course, I've heard that's done by some people, and I wouldn't suggest it. And I think on another newscast I might have mentioned something about that, but it was more theory. It was more theory, and only what the evil people do. So I think that might be enough for this show. It's good to see that we have other media coming into the galaxy in the form of a hot dog stand. And if you're still playing, really ask questions. If you're just starting out the game, I think the veterans would all like to help you, even though in the game they may want to destroy you. Off the game, inside the forum, people are pretty open to answer questions. And there's a lot of little tweaks, a lot of little things that you'll learn over time that help. And those who've been around the longest seem to know them and use them quite well. So Captain Sweep saying hello. Have a great game today, and we'll see you soon.